Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video. In this video, we will deal with the first chapter from the third unit. And the name of the chapter is Young Uncle Goes to His Village by Vandana Singh. This is actually an extract, that is a part which is taken from a delightful book which is entitled Young Uncle Comes to Town. Before moving on to the story, we shall have a short discussion about the characters. We have young uncle who is the main character in this story, and we have Sarita, Ravi, the baby, and these three are actually the children, and these three children's father's younger brother is actually the young uncle here in the story. And we also have another character, that is Yusuf, who is the friend of young uncle. So these are the characters who are coming in this story. And the whole story revolves around these characters. In this extract, let's read about young uncle's preparations for a visit to his great uncle's village. When the story begins, you can see that young uncle was actually planning to go for a trip, that too to his father's village, where he spent some of his childhood days. And to talk about his ancestral house, most of the relatives had gone from this ancestral village home, but two of his oldest relatives are still there in this village. And these were ancient uncle and his wife, ancient auntie. And to talk about ancient uncle was young uncle's great uncle, and people called him ancient uncle because he was very old. But even though he was very old, he used to do all kinds of childish mischiefs, childish things along with these three children. And ancient uncle also had horses and cows and a lot of stories about adventures. And this is where the place, or this is where this village young uncle was planning to go in order to meet his ancient uncle and ancient auntie. When young uncle was planning to go to meet his great uncle, the children, that is Sarita, Ravi and the baby, they also wished to go with the young uncle, but their mother didn't allow them. And it is said that the children made long faces, which means they became very sad and disappointed as their mother would not let them accompany young uncle to the village in order to meet ancient uncle. That is why the children made very long faces. Since their mother didn't allow them to go along with young uncle, they became very sad and disappointed. So in order to console the children, the young uncle offered them something. He asked the children what are the different things that they wanted from the village. And after hearing this, the children became very happy. And the two older children, that is Sarita and Ravi, they decided that they wanted mangoes. They told young uncle that they want mangoes. When you return from village, you will have to bring so many mangoes. That was the wish that is expressed by the older children. But the baby was not at all satisfied with the mangoes, and she started thinking of something else. The next day, young uncle's friend Yusuf came to visit him. And Yusuf was a wildlife expert because he could make most amazing animal noises. And this is how Yusuf used to entertain the children. And for this time, he came to visit young uncle in order to ask for a help. And when he came to visit young uncle, he also bought a picture book for children. And this picture book was full of the pictures of different kinds of animals. And Yusuf actually came to ask young uncle for a help. Yusuf requested young uncle to look what was actually happening in Neelamgiri sanctuary. That is the forest ranger, that is the person whom he appoints to look after the forest, is leaving after a week or so. And he wanted to know, Yusuf wanted to know the exact reason behind this. So he requested young uncle to check what was actually happening in Neelamgiri sanctuary. To this, young uncle very eagerly, very enthusiastically, he agreed to what Yusuf asked. Later, young uncle and the baby started looking the pictures in the book that has been bought by Yusuf. That is the different animals. They have started looking at the different animals, the pictures of different animals. And meanwhile, the baby pointed at the picture of a tiger which was reposing loyally in a forest. Actually, the baby meant that she wanted this tiger when he returned from the village. That is why the baby pointed out the picture in the book. And to this, young uncle said that he just was straightforward. He said that he won't be able to bring a tiger, an alive tiger, when he come from or when he returned from his village. Then again the baby pointed at the tail. To this also, young uncle said that I won't be able to bring the tail of a tiger. Then the baby again looked very impatient. Then she pointed to the very tip of the tiger's tail. She pointed at the tip of the tiger's tail. And a hair from the tip of the tiger's tail? Well, young uncle just said that, okay, I'll try my best to bring a hair from the tip of the tiger's tail. And he also promised that, okay, I'll try to bring a hair from the tip of the tiger's tail. And he didn't know how he was going to do it, especially if the hair was still attached to the tiger. But a promise was a promise. He will have to fulfill the promise. And 2 days later, young uncle waved goodbye to his brother and sister-in-law and all the 3 children. And he just went to the village in order to meet ancient uncle and ancient auntie. Hope you all have enjoyed this very beautiful story. That's all for in this class. Thank you so much for watching.